Welcome to Into the Wikiverse. I'm Mike Hover, and today is March 29th. In 845, a fleet of 120 Viking ships containing more than 5,000 men traveled down the Seine and reached their destination, Paris, France. With no walls around the city and little defense, the Vikings entered Paris and plundered it with ease. The only reason they left was because the king of West Francia, Charles the Bald, paid a ransom of silver and gold to leave. In today's money, roughly 725 million US dollars. To talk about his king's ransom and the siege itself is Viking Chieftain Ragnar. Ragnar, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man. Oh, man, I'm just happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me, Mike.
First off, congrats on the siege. And I have to ask, what was your battle strategy?
We're just doing what we normally do, man. We just sail down from the North Country, and just pillage and sack. And we went all out on this tour. We brought 120 long ships. I was right there at the vanguard. My kinsmen were right behind me, hailing me, just hailing the Van Halen. It was great.
That sounds epic, to be perfectly honest. I have to admit that I'm pretty impressed because, I'm not a battle expert, but the siege lasted only like a couple of days and you got a hefty ransom. Were you expecting this kind of payout?
Well, listen, Mike, I take issue with the word ransom, man. We prefer to think of it as more of a tour rider, if you will.
What is normally on a rider of this kind of magnitude?
Well, we come a long way. We want to make sure that we get what is owed to us, if we're going to come and grace a foreign land with our presence. So, the usual type of stuff, 100,000 goblets full of cream, a few bundles of kindling. On this particular occasion, we asked for 200 head of sheep, but, all the brown ones taken out, man. No brown sheep.
Okay. All right. You have your tastes and your overhead.
I just want to make sure they're reading the rider, even though literacy at this point is not widespread. To be honest, I can't read or write either,
Okay.
So, but you can just improvise off a scribble. And, if it seems reasonable enough, people are more than likely to acquiesce, man.
You were in Paris for only like 24 hours. Where was your favorite place to pillage?
Oh, man, so much to see in Paris, man. So many places to sack and pillage. But I would have to say, if I had to narrow it down, my favorite place was Notre Dame, man.
Ragnar, in 845, Notre Dame isn't built yet.
No, but you could see the development potential. It's a prime piece of real estate, man. It was really just a bunch of thatched roofed huts, but I saw a lot of sand laying around, and if somebody took the time to blow it into glass and stain it, you'd really have something, man.
How did the Parisians take to your sacking?
Oh, that was a hostile crowd, man. Turns out we showed up on something called Easter. Bad timing, man.
Oh, yeah, they're very Catholic.
Yeah, it was something I learned about on the fly. We're Norsemen, so we worship Norse gods, Odin, Loki, Frigg. We're real big in Frigg in my fleet. We're friggin' maniacs, man.
Ragnar, what are your thoughts on Charles the Bald?
Oh, typical owner, man. Total Squaresville. He acquiesced soon enough. He wasn't popular with us. Doesn't seem to be popular with his people. I don't think he goes around calling himself Charles the Bald. His people gave him that name, man. And his dad, they didn't like either. He's the successor to Charles the Fat, man.
Before we leave, do you have any regrets from the siege of 845?
No, I think we did it the right way. We came, we got what we were looking for, we got out. We didn't hang around. We know when we've overstayed our welcome. So
what is the big sign? What is like the number one sign that you know it's time to wrap up?
I mean, typically it's a volley of arrow fire, something like that. Like a volley of arrows, people throwing boiling oil on us, things like that. A counter offensive. That's usually when I know it's time to hit the old dusty trail.
This has been Into the Wikiverse. Ragnar was Chicago comedian Darrell Monti. He doesn't have any comedy shows coming up, but if you're listening and are a booker, book him on your show. Mike Hover was portrayed by himself. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter at Overdrive. Music provided by Audionautics.com, and additional sound effects and music provided by freefx.co.uk.